It's not about how you start, but how you finish. The finish line is all that matters. And finishing well can mean the difference between gold and going home with nothing. And there's no event where this is more evident than road race cycling. This is a competition where typically over 100 of the fittest athletes on the planet, wearing the tightest shorts imaginable, battle it out for around 4.5 hours, covering over 150 kilometers. But the result is usually only decided in the final meter. All those hours on the road, all those months of training are all about that last chaotic sprint. And in Tokyo in 1964, this was taken to unbelievable extremes and the tightest finish you're ever likely to see. Being an amateur event, the peloton contained a random mix of local heroes and future stars, including several who would go on to earn the highest accolade in cycling: a nickname. Felice Grimondi of Italy, the Phoenix. Walter Godefrodt of Belgium, the Bulldog of Flanders. And best known of all, Belgium's Eddy Merckx, known as the Cannibal. Still an amateur in 1964 and not much known outside of Belgium, Merckx would go on to be the greatest road racer in cycling history. With cycling, it's easy to get caught up in the speed, the power and the lycra. It's important to remember, though, that each rider is in the midst of not only a physical battle, but a mental one as well. Tactics, you see, are key. Throughout the bulk of the race, riders preserve energy by cycling in the slipstream of the riders just in front of them. They take it in turns. It's the etiquette of the peloton. That's the name for the main body of cyclists. But then, as the race nears its later stages, someone picks their moment and goes for it, leading a breakaway.
Is it my turn?
Not yet. Etiquette, Jan. Etiquette.
Once they've broken away, this group will battle amongst themselves until the finish. But the group in Tokyo was rather large. In fact, so large it had to be seen to be believed. Why was Tokyo so different? Well, it was a combination of unusual design and bad weather. A typical top-level road racing course features a number of climbs of varying degrees of difficulty that riders must deal with. It's these hills, the extra strain they put on the riders, and the change in pace they demand that help create the separation. An alpine road race might include 2 climbs of 1,000 meters each. The Tokyo course, however, featured just 1 short climb of 65 meters. Not the sort of course that strikes fear into elite cyclists. The competitors would have to complete 8 laps of this course on the outskirts of Tokyo, making the race just short of 195 kilometers. That might sound a daunting distance to you. But you are a mere human. These racers are machines. Much of the race took place in heavy rain, a very effective deterrent to stifling ambitious breakaways. No matter how professional you are, coming off your bike still hurts, and you still want your mum to make it better. Still, at various stages, different racers did attempt to go out on their own. The trouble is that breakaways rarely work. The riders put in a hard shift, then get sucked back into the mix. The peloton is already going at around 41 kilometers an hour, so to try to leave them behind, you've got to really put your foot on the gas. Get your timing wrong and you won't have the legs. A bad breakaway attempt can be enough to end any chance of a medal. So, with no successful breakaways, the peloton was still intact when they came to the closing stages. And caution had crept in. Over 100 of the world's top cyclists seemingly out on a pleasure ride, nobody prepared to take a gamble. It would remain so until just a few hundred meters from the finish line. Then, there was only one thing they could do: sprint. Heads down and pedaling as hard as they could, 99 cyclists were inseparable. But with just 20 meters to go, Italy's Mario Zanin and the Dane Kiel Rodian pulled slightly ahead. The Italian just edging the race by less than 1/100th of a second. The gap between Zanin in first and Iran's Zayed Ismail Hosseini, classified 99th, was 0.2 of a second. Max finished 12th, the man who won everything, except Olympic gold. This was Zanin's moment. The Italian won just one other stage race over the rest of his career. He never earned the accolade of a proper nickname. But we think Olympic gold medalist will do very nicely.